Hello and welcome to my channel. In this episode of TV Tonight, we look at Cartoon Network, the block, the network, and the streaming service. Now before we begin, you might have noticed that our usual intro is missing. We've gone for something a little different today. You'll see why in a moment. On October 1st, 1992, the Cartoon Network was launched as a 24-hour block within the superstation WTBS in Atlanta. It featured classic Hanna-Barbera cartoons from the 60s through to the 80s. The initial schedule included shows like The Flintstones, Yogi Bear, The Jetsons, The Quick Draw McGraw Show, Top Cat, The Funky Phantom, The Herculoids, The Atom Ants, Speed Racer, The Godzilla, The Man Called Flint, Astro Boy, The Amazing Spider-Man, The Bionic Woman, Hong Kong Phooey, Scooby-Doo, Where Are They Now? The New Scooby-Doo Mysteries, The New Adventures of Batman, The New Adventures of Wonder Woman, Super Friends, The Smurfs, The Dukes of Hazzard, Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids, and The Bugs Bunny Show. Movies aired during the block included Watership Down, The Plague Dogs and the Rescuers. Over the years, other animated shows were added to the lineup such as The Addams Family, Casper, The Magic School Bus, The Real Ghostbusters, Sailor Moon, Power Rangers, Street Sharks, Space Cats, SWAT Cats, and more. By 1987, the Cartoon Network had over 100 hours of original programming, and by 2000, it was home to over 300 hours of original content. This included specials, retrospectives, and original series such as Dexter's Laboratory, Johnny Bravo, and Cow and Chicken. Also in 1997, Cartoon Network replaced its retro Hanna-Barbera lineup with newer cartoons as part of a strategy to reach a younger demographic. Classic cartoons were moved to Boomerang, which was launched in April 1999. On October 1999, Cartoon Network became a 24-hour cable channel, and its lineup expanded to include Power Rangers, Star Trek, Roswell, The Amanda Show, The Fairly Odd Parents, SpongeBob SquarePants, Ed, Edd and Eddy, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Mike, Lou and Og, The Grim Adventures of Billie Eilish, Jimmy Neutron, The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius, The Wild Thornberrys, Cats Don't Dance, Sheep in the Big City, The Life and Times of Juniper Lee, Ben 10, and Chowder. In 2003, Cartoon Network launched Cartoon Cartoons, a programming block showcasing experimental animation and live-action shorts. Cartoon Cartoons was hosted by a character named Pencil, who introduced each cartoon with a comic monologue. The block was later renamed Cartoon Brew. Cartoon Network also experimented with Adult Swim, a programming block featuring animated and live-action series aimed at adults. Adult Swim premiered on September 2, 2001, initially airing late at night and replacing the children's programs previously shown in that time slot. Initially, the block consisted of off-network sitcom reruns, anime, music videos, and adult-oriented animated shorts, including the premiere of Aqua Teen Hunger Force. As the block gained popularity, it expanded to include original series such as Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law, The Venture Brothers, and Space Ghost Coast to Coast. Adult Swim eventually took up the entire network at 1 a.m. and grew to encompass an entire programming grid with original content airing alongside acquired library programming. The Cartoon Network was also home to several original movies, including Casper, It's Christmas Time Again, The Life and Times of Juniper Lee, The Secret Saturdays, The Problem Solvers, Regular Show, Ben 10, Generator Rex, and more. In addition to its regular programming, Cartoon Network showcased sneak previews of upcoming Cartoon Network original series and movies, along with retrospectives, special events, and marathons. One notable event was Cartoon Fridays, which featured back-to-back premieres of new animated shorts. Some of the shorts that debuted during this time slot went on to become full-fledged series such as The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack and Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. During the late 2000s, Cartoon Network's primetime lineup began to shift towards older children with the acquisition of popular series from other networks such as Drake and Josh, Zoe 101, and Avatar: The Last Airbender. The network also continued to develop original animated series, including Regular Show, A Natural History, The Amazing World of Gumball, Symbionic Titan, Fish Hooks, and Detention. Cartoon Network also acquired the rights to air classic Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies cartoons, as well as anime series like Naruto and Yu-Gi-Oh! During the 2010s, Cartoon Network continued to acquire popular live-action and animated series from other networks, including Phineas and Ferb, Gravity Falls, The Thundermans, Game Shakers, Nicky, Ricky, Dickie and Dawn, Henry Danger, The Loud House, and more. The network also continued to produce original animated series, including Uncle Grandpa, Clarence, Steven Universe, Adventure Time, The Amazing World of Gumball, We Bare Bears, Regular Show, Teen Titans Go, The Fungies, Craig of the Creek, and Victor and Valentino. In recent years, Cartoon Network has faced challenges such as declining ratings and competition from other networks and streaming services. However, the network continues to produce new content, including the original series Mau Mau, Heroes of Pure Heart, Summer Camp, Islands, The Dog and His Spectacles, Apple and Onion, Close Enough, Ben 10, The Alien Force, Ben 10, Omniverse, and Ben 10, Joey Dusaro. In addition, Cartoon Network recently announced plans to launch a standalone streaming service featuring its classic and original content. The service will also include content from other Turner networks, such as Adult Swim, Boomerang, and TCM. And now here's a bit of trivia about the channel that you may not know. On January 1st, 2008, Cartoon Network celebrated its 15th anniversary. To commemorate the occasion, they ran a marathon of their shows starting from the first episode of Dexter's Laboratory until the most recent episode of Chowder. This marathon lasted for 51 hours and set a Guinness World Record for the longest television marathon. And finally, what do you think of the new intro? If you're a longtime fan of the channel, chances are you'd be familiar with this song. A version of it played during the channel's bumpers in the late 90s and early 2000s. This version uses footage from many of the shows that aired on Cartoon Network at that time. We felt it would be a fitting tribute to the channel's history while giving our audience a bit of nostalgia. Thank you for watching this episode of TV Tonight. Please remember to like and share. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you do not miss out on any future videos. Until next time, goodbye.